say something. Look it, man. I've been an Atlanta fan for 45 years.
Late night vibes, we're turning up the heat. T Will on the mic, can't accept defeat. My ATL sports show, he's running the game. Atlanta Falcons fly high, you know the name. In the heart of the A, where the pride runs deep. From the Braves to the Falcons, he's keeping it real, no sleep. He's got the scoop, every player, every play. Bringing the thunder every single day. He will, shining bright on the airwaves, bringing sports tonight. Atlanta heart, with a soul so free. My ATL Sports Show, it's the place to be.
Hello. Welcome, ATL Falcon fans and ATL Braves fans. Welcome as well. Welcome to What the Falcon, home of the Brave, with myself, T. Will, and my guy, Scott. Jurassic like Jurassic. How you doing, Scott? All well, brother?
Everything's going good, man. Just trying to deal with this whole Germany thing and the fact that it's going to be at 9 a.m. Although I kind of wish I was over there because when they played in England last, I was over there, and that was so much fun.
Yeah, I heard it was. I heard you guys had a great time, man. So, but hey, you can have fun here. You know, hey, I look at it this way: you get up early, you watch the game, and then you got the rest of the day to yourself, right? So, you know, I guess there are ways of dealing with it. But speaking of Germany, man, let's get into it. So, Lenny Craig, I believe, gave the Falcons 30 spots or 30 restaurants that they could visit while they were in Berlin. What's your favorite German dish, Scott?
The hamburger.
Okay. I wasn't aware that the hamburger was a German dish.
It's literally named after the town that it's invented in.
It originated in Germany. I did
Nuremberg,
not
Germany.
know that. Okay. Well, do they still serve hamburgers in Germany?
I would assume so.
Okay. I don't know. It's just,
bratwurst and schnitzels and stuff.
Yeah, I think of schnitzels and bratwurst. I don't think of hamburgers when I think of Germany. So I don't know. But either way, Falcons left today to go out there, obviously, to face the Colts. In what we could classify as a must-win situation. Falcons are currently 3-5, and it's already going to be an uphill battle. But you go to 3-6, or even worse, 3-7, you can pretty much cancel Christmas. As Tommy used to say from Power, you can cancel Christmas. So hopefully we won't be doing that. I really don't want for us to have to cancel Christmas, but we're going up against a tough team, and they got better, Scott. They traded for Sauce Gardner the other day. Give me your thoughts on that. Now, is Sauce going to make the trip? Do you know?
Sauce is on the plane over there now.
Okay. Well, let me just ask
DeForest
you.
Buckner is not.
You said who's not?
DeForest Buckner, the starting three technique for that defense.
Gotcha.
One of the best three techniques in the league. Not there. Okay. He's been a big reason why Kwity Paye, Latu, you know, that whole defense has been solid at getting after the quarterback.
Okay. All right. Well, how do you feel about this matchup?
I don't feel good. One of the better 4-3 defenses in the league. One of the better overall defenses, and they add one of the best players in the league at cornerback. And it's not like they had a bad group of cornerbacks, but they had a solid group of cornerbacks. They have a really, really good offensive line between Raymond, Nelson, Bartoloni, And then Goncalves and Braden Smith, just that group is really good all around. And you know my view, fat guys win championships, and they've got really good fat guys. And they're going to play a lot of 12 personnel with Mo Alley Cox, with Tyler Warren. Jonathan Taylor's tough to take down. Like, it just does not feel like a good matchup for the Falcons, and it could get out of hand early. Like, if this defense plays the way I think it's going to, and they still keep putting JD Bertrand out there, they are not going to have a good time. Now, if Bertrand is injured for the week, because he's got a knee injury right now, but if he's injured for the week, I would not be shocked to see Ronnie Harrison in there and the defense playing a little bit better.
Yeah, I'd like to see Harrison and Helms in there. You know what I mean? Give Helms a shot to come up and hit somebody.
Well, Bowman's going to be back this week.
Really? Okay. No, I'm thinking maybe you substitute Helms in at linebacker.
No, I get that, but with Bowman back, that helps your nickel a lot.
Gotcha. I got.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Alford. I think he's a really solid player. But Bowman gives you that against the run strength that you need.
And
Walker back.
Bowman's better at man, in my humble opinion.
Exactly. Getting Harrison potentially back as well, that should help the run defense a good bit, because Harrison and Walker and Bowman, and basically the only guy that's actually injured on defense at that point is Diablo and Anderson. So I do think Ronnie Harrison can play the role, be fine at it. I think if JD Bertrand is out there, it is going to be a bad day. I think if Josh Woods is out there, it'll be fine. Bertrand is just, it's like, here's the snap. Here's the play. Right now I move. Like, it's like something doesn't
click.
Like, dude, you gotta fucking move right off the snap. Like,
yeah.
Don't stand there and try and diagnose flat-footed, because then you get turned around and you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, he has no feel for the game. And what's crazy is when I saw him at Notre Dame, when I was watching the Notre Dame film, that didn't show up in his game. He actually felt the game really well when he was in college. He was a really solid player at Notre Dame. He did fine. So Jimmy Lake screwed up a linebacker that is now just stuck on our roster.
Or maybe his game just didn't translate at the pro level.
You know? Or maybe he just knew so much at the college level that he didn't understand what was going to change at the pro level, and it's just not clicking for him. But at this point, outside of his special teams contributions, he provides nothing on the roster. And if Diablo gets healthy and Anderson gets healthy, I don't see a spot for JD Bertrand on this roster.
I could not agree with you more.
I just don't.
I could agree with you more.
Because, like, Woods would probably be the first one off with how Harrison's been playing. But then who would be the second one? It'd be Bertrand. Like,
is Bertrand a third or what third, fourth round pick? What is he?
Bertrand was a 5th round pick.
Okay, so I don't understand the.
You know my view on 5th round picks. They're drafted for depth and special teams, right? Yeah. Well, he's shown he sucks at depth, but he's good at special teams. At this point, his pick doesn't justify his roster spot as much as you want it to. He's just so slow at diagnosing that it's just not worth keeping him on the roster. Sure. And that happens for some guys. You know, I'm not saying like he's a total piece of shit human being. I'm just saying he shouldn't be on an NFL football team. He might make a better coach than player.
It could happen. We got Carlo,
a hardworking guy.
No, very much so. We got Carlo Wiggins in the chat. Carlo says, Fellers, how's it going? Carlo, how's it going, man? All right, Scott, let's talk about what we have to do if we are to win, if we are to go into Germany and beat up on those Colts, shock the world. How do we do it? Give me your thoughts.
Ball control.
Okay.
Because the Colts defense, This feels like a running theme, but the Colts defense is not the best against the run. And if you have an offense like ours that should be really good at controlling clock and running the ball, well, maybe running the ball against the Colts is a good idea. Now, the Colts statistically may not have the lowest, they might not look like a bad run team or whatever, but the minute you pull DeForest Buckner out, their yards per carry goes from 4.0 to 4.8. And that makes them a terrible run defense. We just got to keep sticking with it. And we got to make sure that this run game, this play action game, just build everything around the run game. I do not understand what Zach Robinson's offense actually is right now. And I was talking with a couple guys about it, and I was like, what is this scheme? Like, what is the goal for the scheme? There's no true objective. There's no identity within the scheme. Like, it can't be Bijan explodes and we win, or Bijan sucks and we lose. Like, that does not work. So where's the identity within the scheme? And it's just not there. And it should be built around the run game, rotating Bijan and Algier running the ball, and then the pass game, play actions to everybody.
Do you think we need to diversify run concepts from different formations? In other words, vary our looks, run from different formations, throw in some play action in there, like every time you run Charlie Warner in that motion and you sit him down inside that tackle or inside that tight end or whatever, maybe you play action from that. What do you think about that? Because, they're watching this team for 9 games, when you see Warner in certain motion sets, 90% of the time it's a run. So I'm talking about varying those looks. Do you think that helps us? And also, this leads me to our next subject. We have some offensive line injuries, right? So I know that, thank God, Lindstrom should be back this week, but Bergeron is out. How's that going to impact us?
Hinton is a very solid player.
Okay.
I like Hinton quite a bit, actually. I think he's going to be just fine. He may not be like the best left guard that they have, but left guard is also a position you can hide a little bit too. If you're solid on the other 4 spots, which they are, you can hide a little bit with your left guard and have your center help him out a little more. Nothing wrong with that. Also, it's sight side versus blind side for Penix, so it actually makes it a little bit easier on him too.
Okay.
So I'm not as worried about Hinton. I think Hinton is a solid player. He's a much better run blocker than he is pass blocker, but even as a pass blocker, he's average. So that comment is, yeah, I was like, that comment's covering my face, man. Yeah, I mean, they've got a really solid, I think Hinton's going to be solid. I'm not as worried about that. They should vary the concept up. They should be running outside zone, inside zone, 60% of the time. But right now they're running it 90% of the time. They should run some gap and trap concepts more.
Yeah. How about some duo?
So duo is a gap concept.
Okay.
So when you run duo and run duo with Algier in there. Run duo with Bijan in there. And there's multiple forms of duo. You can run an outside, like aim to the edge duo. Yep. You can run an inside duo. So, I mean, just keep running it. Run the ball, flip the concepts around, run some tosses. Don't run end around unless the end around is to Bijan. Like, end around to Bijan would be a really fun play, actually. Mm-hmm. Because they just run this orbit motion where he lines up as a running back. Why not run an end around where it just looks like he's going in motion and hand him the ball?
Diversify.
Just be more creative.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, and I have a thought here now that I said this, Why not run a play where it's an end around and then Bijan runs behind Penix. Penix fakes the end around, and then Bijan's going off into the flat. And you've got Pitts running a clear post. You have Mooney outside of him running a clear 9. And then you'll have a little mini levels concept there with a dig underneath.
Yeah.
With London.
Yeah.
And then attack different levels, 3 levels at a time. Like, I don't know why he's not creative and why there's no spacing in the offense.
Well, I know we ran, to your point, we ran at least 1 or 2 levels plays, and the Patriots snuffed it out immediately. So again, I don't know if it's depth being, and I'm talking about the one where it's over to the left, and you've got, I believe, Kyle and either Bijan or Bijan and Kyle, and no, I think it was Kyle and Drake, and Gonzalez stepped in front of one of them.
And they both ran an out pattern.
Yeah.
That's not how levels is supposed to work.
No, I get it, but I'm saying they ended up being like 5-10 yards away from each other. I'm just saying, and I bring it up because the last time TJ Yates was our receivers coach, that's what you had. You had a bunch of guys ended up in the same place, 2 or 3 receivers within
because
2, 3, 4
he shouldn't
yards.
be the receivers coach. I've said this
I
multiple
agree with you.
He's not a receivers coach. And the only reason why he keeps getting put there is because we've yet to hire a long-term one. I mean, at a certain point, maybe you just go out and get Terry Robisky to come back and be like, listen, please fix our people. Or go out and get Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah, I think he'd be great. Doesn't he has he's got a sports facility now where he trains receivers.
Well,
So
and
go ahead.
I'm a big believer with coaches. You need a guy who wasn't the best athlete. And that's not how he made his life in the NFL. You need a guy who was maybe an average NFL athlete, but one with intelligence and one with route running, or one with the best hands, or one with the most physical, one with a little bit of everything, attitude, all that stuff. And that makes a good coach. Because Jeff Ulbrich was a very average linebacker when he even played linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
He was more of a special teams guy. He's a pretty good coach, pretty good coordinator.
Yeah. You need somebody who understands how hard the game is. And that's throughout sports. It's very difficult for a superstar to understand why his players can't be superstars like it. And not that you can't do it, but it's rare. Most coaches were, let's say, average players. Some were not, some were, but most, I should say, most effective coaches, most coaches with tenure were average players. But we got to do some housekeeping. Carlos says, I'm working late. Finna knock it off. Hey man, be safe, Carlo. Craig in our chat says, our team is built to run the ball, but our coaches for some reason want to air it out. Like we have Tom Brady, but honestly, we have Penix in his rookie season, and he's not ready to carry this team yet. Jonathan Bell. What up, Jonathan? Jonathan says, yo, what's up, T. Will? Great show and content. Keep up the good work and always rise up. Rise up indeed, Jonathan. Jonathan says they are running Bijan to the ground. Definitely need to play Tyler more, but we've all been saying that. And Jonathan says, I think Mike McDaniel is going to be our next OC. Just a weird feeling I have. Hey, I wouldn't object to it. But hey, let's get into this, right? So Falcons signed Zane Gonzalez, 3rd kicker of the year. How are you feeling about that? Give me your thoughts.
I have no hope for Zane Gonzalez to be a competent kicker.
Yeah.
If he is, it'll be a very nice surprise. But as of right now, kicking in Atlanta is a sad situation. I would have us rather signed the fat kicker or given Ben Sauls the role. But, I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter. Like, we should be in a position where the only thing the kicker is doing is extra points.
What about the kid from Georgia, Lopez?
Rodrigo Blankenship? Give him at least a tryout.
Yeah, why? What's the deal with him? Because I don't see them trying to do that. Like,
I don't know.
Did he piss off somebody? Like, I'd love to know, because
league wide hasn't gotten a tryout,
He
which
had
is nuts.
he had to do something. I don't want to speculate, but
He missed a lot of kicks when he was in Indy.
okay. Okay. Well, maybe that's what he did. Don't know. Oh, excuse me. Jonathan says, "Why have we not tried our German kicker after Craig? Because I don't think Craig's ready.
He's
I
not.
don't. I don't think he's ready. You know what I mean? I don't think. I don't think the ratio at which he was making kicks in training camp was even close. So that's
He,
why they just say he's not ready.
he was at like 60%.
Yeah. But what Raheem shouldn't have done is Raheem shouldn't have put it out there like it was a competition. That he shouldn't have done.
Yeah, I was telling people from day one, this is a long-term development plan
Correct.
for a kicker.
Correct.
It is not a year one, maybe not even a year two kicker thing.
Craig says, "Thank God we had a kicking competition in the offseason, like Raheem said we did. I don't know why we have such kicking problems because Raheem is a great head coach." All right. I'm not going there with you tonight, Craig, but he definitely misled us on that one. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's talk about this Patriots game, man. Look, I don't have an issue with anybody on this squad except for the kicker who's no longer with us because you got to make an extra point. Like this Falcons team fought hard. They came back in the second half to tie it. They only allowed 3 points. Defense played great in the second half. Offense, grinded it out. Bijan made some great catches. Kyle made a great catch where he goes full extension, catches that ball. Bijan goes up twice to a ball that's not near him with his left hand, snatches it out of the air, turns around, and still has the mindset to get 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. And then that catch that Drake made, Scott, I'm
Game
not
ball to London.
Drake. I'm sorry, excuse me, Scott. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Game ball to Drake London.
Oh, without a doubt. But
on offense, on defense, Jalen Walker, but game ball to London on offense.
Agreed. 3 touchdowns. But that last catch that he made may have been the greatest catch I've seen exactly since Julio's Super Bowl catch because of the degree of difficulty. So you got to go up, you got to bring it down with one hand, you got to get your foot down, but then you got to get another limb down. You know what I mean? Another body part. And then once you do that, you got to roll to the ground and tuck it and keep it from going anywhere.
He got his knee down,
Yep.
Had full control the whole time, tucked it like a running back, rolled with it, and then was like, hey, I got the ball. I caught that. That didn't touch the ground. That was my ball the whole time. And then he had his knee on the ground with the ball tucked in bounds, and then he rolled out.
And
I'm like, I mean, that's a catch.
That is a great catch.
Like that's like there was no question it was a catch.
The presence of mind to not only go up and catch it, right? Because sometimes you gotta go with where you are. He couldn't get both feet down. So he drags a toe, gets the knee down, brings the ball with one hand, and tucks it. People don't realize how difficult that is.
Well, and what people don't realize is if you have your knee down in bounds, it's 2 feet. It counts as 2 feet when you have your knee down.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 points of contact. It's each joint can be its own point of contact. So when you have your knee and your foot down in bounds, that's in bounds already. He didn't even need to drag his foot. The fact that he dragged his foot was just gravy on it.
Yeah, man, that was a great catch. That was a great catch. Again, for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, that is the second greatest catch, next to Julio's catch in the Super Bowl. And I'm going to explain to everyone why, in my humble opinion, Julio's catch was the greatest one by a Falcon I've seen.
You don't have to explain it, man. He went up there, he caught it. It was a clutch moment. It was for like 30 yards in the middle of the Super Bowl and like the final drive that the Falcons had. Like that absolutely was the greatest.
It was 7 feet in the air, right? So Julio's about 6'4". That thing had to be 7 feet, maybe 7 foot 2 inches in the air. You got the presence of mind to go up, catch that toe drag swag, right? Dead feet, dead leg, go dead, right? Bring the ball down and drop and roll. And like you said, it couldn't have been a bigger moment. That was
Yeah.
a great throw by Matt because he put it where only Julio could catch it, but that was an even better catch. That's one, again, by a Falcon, that is the greatest
Yeah.
Falcon reception I've ever seen. That's
Absolutely.
bar none. Bar none. 100%. Craig says Zach is the future godfather to my kids. Oh, Craig. Okay.
Oh, sadism. So much fun.
Oh, wow. Oh boy, Craig says I feel bad for our players because our coaching staff and this coaching staff causes me to be embarrassed to be a fan of this team. I'm not gonna say I'm embarrassed, Craig, but they definitely cause us some heartache. I will agree with you there. But let's get to it. Jalen Walker is the rookie of the week,
As he
and
should be.
and justifiably so. Let's talk about the game that he had, man. Give me your thoughts on that.
So let's see. He had 2 sacks. He had a forced fumble. He had an extra tackle for loss. He looked fantastic in the run game. In coverage, he allowed 1 catch. And it was for 6 yards, which I'm not going to get mad about a defensive end allowing a 6-yard catch.
Mm-hmm.
It was, well, actually scratch that. He did allow a second catch for a little bit longer than that on a 3rd down. But even then, it wasn't a horrible game for him, right? He had a really solid overall game.
Go ahead.
He just looked really good this week. And there's times when you look at a player and you're like, this guy is going to be really good when it all clicks in.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't all clicked in for Jalen Walker. He has 3 sacks in 6 games that he's played, and it still hasn't all clicked in for him.
Mm-hmm.
If he finishes this year with 10 sacks, as crazy as that might sound, it's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with Floyd out this week, he's going to get a lot more snaps as time goes on.
Yeah.
You're going to see a lot more Jalen Walker. You're going to see a lot more James Pierce. You're going to see a lot more Arnold Ebiketie because Floyd was playing half the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they may go a little bit heavier on one edge with Harrison, a little bit more. Maybe a little bit of Dorless in that spot, a little bit more.
Is Trice playing?
Trice is still on injured reserve. He may not be back this year. I mean, it sucks that he might be out for 2 straight years, but
that's bad. Yeah.
I mean, it might be one of those crazy things where he comes back year 3 and he's fully healed and everything's great and he pops off for 6 sacks in a rotational role. But yeah, I don't see Trice coming back this year. Sometimes you lose a pick like that because of an injury and you can't control it. Trice was healthy his entire career at Washington. There was nothing that suggested Trice was going to be hurt, but it just happens, man.
Game of chance, man. Game of chance.
Yeah.
So Craig wants to know, why did we let Graham go? And that's a good question. Scott, your thoughts? Why did we let Taquan Graham go?
So I think letting Graham go was actually a sign that Harrison's healthy and going to play this week.
Okay.
London is your 6th defensive lineman in that case and sits out.
He's been balling.
He's been balling.
London's been balling. I don't see
Roberts has been balling. I didn't know who Sam Roberts was before this year.
Yeah.
He's been balling. Rook's been balling.
Yeah, Rook is really
Onyemata's been balling.
Yes,
Dorless has been balling.
Yes,
Harrison's been balling. So it's you got 6 guys out there that have been killing it, and you got TQ Graham.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but Graham getting cut is a good sign for the health of the defensive line.
Because but why not trade him for another piece that you need, Scott?
And get a conditional 7th round pick?
Okay.
I mean, I hate to say it, yeah, we could have traded him and gotten a 2027 conditional 7th. I'm not as much as I like TQ Graham, I think he's a very fun player. I think he's a solid person. He had no value to this roster and had no value to other rosters at this point. And he had a 4.5-year career in the NFL. And, NFL stands for not for long, but he had a 4.5-year career in the NFL. He
Okay.
was a 5th-round pick.
Okay.
I mean, that's about all you can expect from a 5th-round pick. Not every 5th-round pick is going to be Grady Jarrett.
What'd the Bengals get for Logan Wilson?
7th rounder.
Yeah, I wonder if we could have swapped him for Logan Wilson.
So maybe him and a 7th for Logan Wilson would have been the trade. But I would have done it, and it would have been much more beneficial. But they really like Harrison.
You look at what you got.
They really like Harrison.
I'm not. I know. I'm not thinking about Harrison. I'm thinking about linebacker.
If Bertrand,
you know what I'm thinking about.
If Bertrand is hurt this week, Ronnie Harrison
hurt.
Ronnie Harrison would be the starter, and I think you might see some sets where Helms rolls in at linebacker.
I'm interested to see that.
Or you'll see some sets where Bowman plays kind of a pseudo linebacker type role. Because remember when I said he's kind of like a Buda Baker type guy, Bowman is. And then you bring Alford in off the bench to play the nickel, and you have Bowman and Ellis as your linebackers.
I like Helms. I like Bowman where he is in the slot.
I love Bowman in the slot.
I love Bowman. And Helms is a thumper. Helms is Helms lives to hit people. Okay, let's be honest.
Helms absolutely lives to hit people.
And Helms lives to hit people. Like somebody else.
Helms. Like, I'm with you there with Helms. Like, and again, I love Helms. I think he's a very good football player.
I'm laughing because the last 2 times he got hurt, Scott, he lit somebody up.
Yeah, he hurt himself.
Exactly. And I love defensive guys like that. Like guys that just live to deliver pain. I can relate to that, man. I love it, man. I want to see Helms light somebody up coming through the hole. I want to see somebody coming through that hole and Helms just bam. And for the rest of the day, that running back is like, okay, where is he? Where is he? Where'd he go? I don't know. You know what I mean? You about to say something. Go ahead, Scott.
I was just saying, like, Helms' only real defensive snaps this year, though, he was playing in the box or he's playing in the slot.
Yeah, I know, but a man can dream, Scott. A man can dream. Craig says T will respectfully, Beltran sucks. Respectfully. Okay. Let's talk about the NFC South, Scott. We are 3rd place, and it looks like we are going to be there for at least a couple games. Panthers are 5-3. We are going to have something to say about that. But ultimately, how do you feel about our destiny this year in the NFC South? Is our only chance at this point a wild card berth, or do we still have the opportunity to win the division?
Just take it week by week. I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, just try to win the game in front of you. Because I don't see any way that they win the NFC South with how Tampa's been playing unless they go on a little bit of a run. And when I say a little bit of a run, I mean win the next 4.
Yeah.
Because then you're 7-5. And in those 4 includes 2 division games, the Panthers and Saints. You'd then be even in the division. You'd win 4 games against common opponents. Like that, you'd have 2 additional wins versus common opponents. Like, that's the only way to do it. Now, the next 4 games are the Colts, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Jets. You go on a little run, you're 7-5. That's the only way I see this happening. You somehow beat the Seahawks to make it 5 in a row, you're 8-5. That's how you get to the playoffs. Because then you got the Cardinals, the Bucks, the Rams, and the Saints to close the season out. And they can beat all 4 of those teams. Now, they probably lose to the Rams. But
that's going to be a tough game.
That's going to be a tough game. They probably lose to the Rams, but I think they can compete with the Cardinals. Buccaneers, they can beat the Buccaneers on any given day. And I think, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, the Falcons are gonna go 3-14 in the fan base. They're all-time low feeling. But they can beat the Panthers. They can beat the Saints. They can beat the Jets. They can beat the Saints again. They can beat the Cardinals. That's 5 right there. That would put them at 8. That's 5 games that should be easily winnable. they can potentially beat the Colts or the Bucks or the Seahawks or the Rams. They could still be a 10-win team, even though they started 3-5. But they got to get their head out of their ass on offense.
Yeah.
Zach Robinson needs to understand you got to run the ball. And you got to run it with Bijan, and you got to run it with Algier, and you got to rotate your running backs. And maybe let's not start on offense every game. Let's start on defense every game for a couple games and see what happens. Because starting on offense hasn't been working. So, just a thought.
No, that's nothing wrong with that. We got to get going either way, though. Like we can't wet the bed this week. I feel like this is a must win.
I mean, it was a must win from the get-go, but I thought it was going to be an easy game at the start of the season, and then the Colts magically turned into a reasonably decent team. Although there is question as to whether they're fool's gold, because their wins are versus the Dolphins and the Broncos and the Titans and the Raiders and the Cardinals and the Titans again. And like they beat the Chargers and they beat the Broncos, and there's like the only two good teams they beat. They lost to the Steelers, they lost to the Rams. There is a spot where the Falcons do measure up well. Be careful with the common sense coaching because Raheem will fire you. Yeah, if Raheem could. But the games that they lost, the games that this Colts team lost to the Steelers, to the Rams, were to two defenses that run a lot of the same similar concepts the Falcons run. A lot of cover one deep with man blitzing, a lot of cover three concepts, a lot of cover six concepts. That's what the Falcons run. They run cover one, cover three, cover six. And the Falcons do their cover six a little different. It's not quarter, half. It's truly 3/3.
Yeah.
So it's really like a cover three with two safeties versus cover six. But yeah, I mean, I think this team could cause some issues for Daniel Jones because he doesn't do well against good pass rushes. And remember what I said about the more you hit a quarterback, and quarterbacks are like piñatas, they start giving you the ball back. We saw that this past week with Drake May.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Definitely.
They
He
hit
definitely folded.
They hit Drake May 8 times. He fumbled the ball twice. He threw a pick. Like, they had a real shot of winning this game because this defense was forcing turnovers. And the offense wasn't contributing turnovers.
Well,
and honestly, there's a fumble attributed to Michael Penix in this last game that I don't even remember. And I went back and watched the film, and I'm like, I don't see where the fumble is. Like, it happened on his sack somehow, and I'm like, his knee was down before the ball was popped out. Like, I don't know why this was scored a fumble.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Scott, what say you and I do a show once? Well, I don't know what's your schedule like Sunday?
I don't really have a big schedule Sunday.
Let's do a show at 1:00 after the game
and see what we think.
Yeah, man. We can still do one on Thursday or Friday, but why not? I mean, nothing else to do at 1:00. So yeah. Well, hey, to everyone who joined us. Oh,
wait, we got some more to talk about. Come on now.
We do.
I feel like you got a work call in the middle of the show, and
I did. No, it's my daughter, and I gotta go be a dad, man. Unfortunately, I gotta go be a dad.
More power to you then.
Yeah, I gotta go be a dad. It is what it is, man. Well, look, real quick. Braves sign Walt Weiss as the manager. Then they turn around and
Called it.
this. You said what?
I called it.
You did. You did. But then they turn around and they sign the pitching coach, Jeremy Hefner and Antoine Richardson. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. And we got 10, 15 minutes, and then Scott, I gotta go. I gotta go be a dad. But
Totally fine.
Walt Weiss said that he was interested in analytics.
Yep.
Dixon Weiss says Fantastic Four is pretty good. My bad, wrong show. What's up, fellas? What up, Dixon Way? So Walt Weiss said he's interested in analytics. And apparently he wasn't lying, because Jeremy Hefner, who is the new pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves, is all about analytics. All about analytics. And for those of you watching this who aren't sure what analytics is, it's basically the data from any baseball game that you ever want to know. So let's say, I don't know, Scott's a pitcher and I'm a hitter, and every time I go up to bat against Scott, for whatever reason, I hit the ball to right field, right? I don't hit the ball to right field against anybody else. I hit it to left field, but whenever I'm facing Scott, I hit it to right field. Well, there's data that supports that, right? So you could build a defense around that. You could build a pitching sequence around that. Jeremy Hefner, essentially what his approach to pitching is he's going to give you more pitches, right? So who was that? Who was the rookie that ended up doing very well at the end of the season for the Braves, Scott? I can't think of his name.
Waldrop.
Yeah, Waldrop. So Waldrop basically had 2 pitches. He added a third, and then he took off from there. Hefner's a more developmental pitcher, but he uses, pitching coach. So the Braves have a lot of young pitchers that didn't do well last year. And this is what I think this is really about. It is far cheaper to develop what you have than go out and sign $35 to $40 million a year pitchers. You've already
It's
got
much harder to find really good hitters.
Yes.
Much more expensive.
Well, pitchers are expensive. Braves don't like pitchers because they don't want to get into they don't want to offer anybody 7-8 year deal, right? They just don't, and they don't. Whatever. They're the Braves. But I can see the thought process when you Scott, you probably got what, 4 or 5 guys down in the minors who are like maybe just 6 months to a year away. So if you can bring on this coach that can develop everybody, guess what? In 3, 4, 5 years, you don't have to pay a bunch of folks $30 million, because you're not going to, if you don't have good pitching, forget about it. Our entire pitching staff was hurt this year, and we saw what that was like. And no, thank you. I don't want any more of that. But I understand why you would sign a Jeremy Hefner, because he is all about developing. And when I say developing, I mean he's going to add pitches, right? So let's say Strider throws a slider and a fastball. He's going to give him a curveball. He's going to give him a changeup. He's going to give him other pitches, whether it's cutter or whatever, but he's going to help him develop other pitches.
Strider needs to learn a splitter.
He needs to learn something. Well, I'm not going to say that.
Also, one thing I'd love to see with Strider, Strider's got that 4-seamer that has no movement on it.
Right.
What I'd love to see with Strider is him learn a 2-seamer.
Yeah.
Because I think if he learned a 2-seamer with how he pronates his pitching, pronate versus supernate.
Yeah.
We pronate
is interior, right? Supernate is
pronate's exterior, if I'm not mistaken. Supernate interior.
Interior. Okay. I got
The
you.
way he pronates his arm, he throws that 2-seamer, it's going to be nasty, and it's going to have inward on righties and outward on lefties.
Yeah.
And if he learns how to do a 2-seamer to add to his 4-seamer, it's going to help him out a lot. That's what Waldrop did. Waldrop had fastball, slider, curveball, change, but his fastball wasn't good enough, his 4-seamer. So, or curveball splitter, sorry, not change up. He learned how to throw a cutter. He learned how to throw a sinker. And once he had the cutter and the sinker, he mixes his fastballs up, whether it's the cutter, the sinker, or the 4-seamer, depending on everything else. So, and don't get me wrong, I'm kind of sad we're losing Kranitz, but I think Kranitz is retiring. He did
Yeah,
take a
I
lot of
like
24
Krennic.
off due to medical stuff for his wife, and I think he's going to retire and he's going to go live on the beach and he's going to go spend some time with his wife,
Yeah,
and that's the situation for Kranitz.
I
So I
I
think
like
they
Krennic
handle it
too.
with some regardless.
I,
I think
I
Snit and Kranitz retired together.
yeah, I like Krennic. I do. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
But um, you
he's
know, if
also
this guy can,
73.
yeah, but if this guy can help us develop our pitchers, and you know, look it, I don't have anything bad to say about Kranitz. Kranitz, as far as I'm concerned, has been the best coach here past 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
you know, the best coach not named Wash. And no disrespect to Snit. Snit got us a World Series. Love Snit. No disrespect to him. But yeah, I think Hefner's gonna be okay. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about their use of analytics. And I think that was probably, although nobody will talk about it, I think that was probably the issue between Snit and management is that he didn't always embrace analytics, and it looks like Walt and the team that they are bringing it in are going full bore into it. Right now,
especially
this
his base running coach.
yes, well, and it's interesting. So, what a lot of people don't know about Anton Richardson, the Mets were #1 in stolen bases last year, and it wasn't even close. Okay, and they are not the fastest team. They're not nearly the fastest. But you know what they did, Scott? So there's a primary lead and there's a secondary lead. Your primary lead is where you are when the pitcher is getting ready to make his windup. Your
Yep.
secondary lead is where you are when he finally goes through with the pitch to the plate. And what they would do essentially, for lack of a better term, is just get a walking lead and steal. And they had the biggest gap in stolen bases. So there's the Mets, and the next team away from them, I think, was 30 bases behind them. The point is, if he did that with the Mets, I can't even imagine what he could do with this speed, because this team has speed. Acuna has speed. You know what I
But
mean?
you know who has speed that hasn't been unlocked on the bases yet?
Harris.
Harris for sure. Even though Harris led the team in stolen bases this year, but Harris for sure. Profar.
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, our starting shortstop, Nick Allen.
Mm-hmm.
You might hear me, you might laugh when I say this, but Austin Riley.
I've seen Austin swipe it. And look, if he could do that with the Mets.
Austin runs as fast as Ozzie Albies and Nick Allen. He's just as fast as those guys. And then you got Ozzie, who's always fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you got three guys in the outfield. You got your second, your short, your third.
Mm-hmm.
Drake Baldwin's pretty quick. I know you don't like to see catchers steal just in case of their hands.
No, you don't.
Make them go feet first.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't.
But I mean, Ronnie, I think Ronnie could go back to stealing 30 bases if he's fully healthy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying have him steal 70 like he did in the past, but
Yeah.
30's reasonable, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ozzie could steal 30.
Well,
Harris
here's
could
the
steal
thing.
50.
If you can steal bases, you can score runs a lot more, because a single with somebody at second, 9 times out of 10, you're going to score, right? Or at least 70% of the time, you're going to score. Whereas if that guy's at first, you know, you got the option for a double play. And even if you do single, he's probably not going to score. At best, he's at third. So I like that. I like the thought process behind that. And I like that, you know, that guy's better. So you could argue the Braves got better with their pitching staff. They did get better. Now, I don't know who they're going to bring in for third base coach, but it's going to, you know, it could be Wash.
It could be Wash, but it's probably not. It's probably going to be someone who's very analytical.
Yeah.
Their base coach. The guy who I think could be a shock as a bench coach is David Ross. He was a manager for the Cubs. He was using analytics heavy with the Cubs because he kind of had to, because that's how they run their org. And I think he would be a really solid bench coach for this team.
Okay.
And
that's interesting. I want to see if it happens, but that's
a good help for our boy Weiss. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Walt Weiss.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't hurt to have another guy who's managed and who's won a division while managing on your staff.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I can get behind that.
You know,
I don't
it
have any.
doesn't hurt to have a couple guys from the. And I know people are like, oh, well, they took these coaches from the Mets, and you know, the Mets always choke shit away. The Mets choking things away is because of a curse on their team, and because they're the Mets, and that's their curse. They're not the Yankees, and they're in New York. That's the curse. The Braves aren't the Mets.
He
Now,
said, as long as it's not D-Ro.
here's the thing. I would not hate DeRosa as a third base coach. DeRosa was a utility infielder his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of those struggling to make the roster kind of guys and can play all three spots in the infield.
Yeah.
Or all four spots in the infield, really, because he played a little first base here and there, too. I wouldn't hate DeRosa as an infield coach and third base coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't hate him. I don't know that I'd love him. I wouldn't hate him. It's what he said about some of the Braves that's kind of in the back of my mind. I'm just wondering how that'd play out in the clubhouse.
What did he say?
Everything, huh? He made some remarks about some Braves players that some folks in Braves country didn't like it. But again, I wouldn't hate him at third base coach. I'd like Wash a whole lot better. Let's just put it that way. I'd love Wash back at third base. I'd love it.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I honestly don't know who they could use at third base coach. Like, I guess my ideal third base coach,
mm-hmm.
and this may sound nuts, would be Chipper Jones. Because as a fielder, Chipper Jones had to work at it. As a hitter, not so much. But as a fielder,
I'd rather Chipper Jones as a hitting coach. I'd rather him be a hitting coach. Like, he is all about hitting.
Well, the thing is, you have so many. You got all these different coaches on your roster.
Yeah.
Why not have them do multiple things? Chipper being another eyes for the hitting coaches and helping those guys on the infield isn't a bad idea.
I think he is going to do that. I think he is going to be another set of eyes. He's not going to be in uniform, but he will be available.
No.
All the players' his numbers. And he will come down, when they're in town and take a look. He said he was going to work with he's going to work with players on a on an as needed basis. He said the reason he didn't really get that involved last year was because he didn't want Tim Hires feeling like he was looking over his shoulder. But the two of them, I guess, have forged a relationship, and so we'll see a lot more of them this year. So that's a good thing. I mean, Chipper Jones Chipper Jones to me reminds me of Tony Gwynn. Now, Tony Gwynn is the best hitter, and I'll say this up against anybody that I know that I've seen in my lifetime, not named Ted. What was Ted's last name? Played for the Red Sox.
Ted Williams?
Yeah, not named Ted Williams. To me, Tony Gwynn was the best hitter I've ever seen because Tony Gwynn was the closest to come to 400. He could hit to all fields. He was just a hitter. Nobody is Tony Gwynn, but Chipper Jones is a pure hitter, and he understands the art and the science of hitting. So I like the fact that he and Tim Hires have the same approach. I'm excited about that. I really am excited about these two additions because I think they're going to be good. Now, I mean, will you see the immediate results? First 5-6 games, maybe not. But over the course of a year, I think this team will be better for it. I think they will. So
speaking of that, who plays shortstop next year?
Oh, God. That's a whole nother show, my friend. I fully expected Kim to do that because think about it. He's the best shortstop on the market right now. That's because I like what's his name from Toronto, but he can't play defense to save his life. He is literally he's profiled as the worst defender on the planet. And not only that, Scott, but his hitting profile is a lot like Tim Anderson. You know who Tim Anderson is, Scott?
Yep.
Or was, should I say?
Oh,
He
I know
was
who Tim Anderson is.
he was one of the greatest hitters about 5-6 years ago, but he didn't make solid contact. He chased a lot, and he had some bad habits. Now, what was his saving grace was he could always make contact, but as he aged, that profile didn't age well, and he went from being a batting champion to out of the league in 6 years, and that's how Bichette profiles.
Do you want a hot take?
Yeah,
I think the guy that they have play shortstop this year is already in the organization.
who's that?
Luke Waddell.
Luke Waddell. Where was he last year? Was he at AAA or
He
Double A?
hit 270
Uh-huh.
at the Stripers with a 360 OBP and a 340 slugging. It's a 700 OPS hitter. He's a left-handed bat, which is the only drawback on it because then you got a lot of lefty bats in there. But if you're going to keep Nick Allen and have Nick Allen and Luke Waddell swap out on that shortstop spot, both are really good fielders. Both have really solid arms. I would keep Nick Allen as a bench guy regardless. But, I mean, come on. If you're wanting a guy for hitting that's still solid in the field, I think Waddell could be that guy.
Can he hit major league pitching though?
Well, there's a lot of major leaguers that play in AAA. It took him a while to get up to a 270 in AAA. He went to AAA real quick and then stuck around for a couple years. Or Nacho Alvarez finally learns how to play shortstop.
I think he's trade bait.
I hope he's trade bait.
I think he and maybe Elder are trade bait this year.
So
I think you're going to use them to either go and get another outfielder, another reliever, or another starter. I think you'll see the Braves make one trade and two signings, or two trade and one signings. But either way, if you look at it, if what McGurk was saying was true the other day, and that they want to be top 5, that equals out to about $60 million. That's yeah, I don't know. I just think you're going to have to make a trade. You need one starter. You need at least one reliever, if not two. And you need one fourth outfielder to kind of give Ronnie a break, give Profar a break, and hit DH every now and then. And you could kind of hodgepodge that between that fourth outfielder, Sean Murphy, and Drake Baldwin. But and you need a shortstop. So I don't know. And maybe if your shortstop is Kim, then maybe you don't go and get another DH or whatever, or another fourth outfielder. But if your shortstop is not Kim, then you got to go and get somebody with some sizzle. Because if you can't get Kim, to me, there's nobody else on the free agent market that's worth it.
So the other thought is Seiya Suzuki as a potential trade option in the outfield, and you just keep Nick Allen in there.
I can dig it. Yeah. I'm all about that. Agreed. 100%.
You hope Pop Gun just keeps being Pop Gun.
Yeah, well, look, if you, what you're looking for really is another contributor. So if you can get that from another source, Nick Allen is great defensively. I have no problem with that. If everybody else was hitting like they should hit, Nick Allen being there was not a problem. But the problem is nobody was hitting like they should hit. So, whatever. Yeah. Hey, Scott, we can talk about this another time, man. I got to go be dead for real. To everyone who joined, appreciate you. But hey, man, I'm serious. Let's say Sunday 1:30, right? You figure the game starts at 9:30, it's over at 12:30. We get chances. You said what?
Work.
So what?
That should work.
Yeah. Let's say Sunday at 1:30. But either way, to everybody who joined us in the chat, we appreciate you guys. Thank you. Hey man, just thank God for sending us in your path. We love talking Falcons and Braves, and we're glad you're here. And we're just glad we got the opportunity to talk about it with you. So appreciate that. Want to thank God for waking me up this morning. Want to thank God for sending this very nice gentleman that I do this show with every week. for, hey, sending him in my path, because he definitely has been a big help to me, and I appreciate him. And hey, man, all good. Eric Parker, thank you, brother. Jack Spade, wherever you are, thank you for giving my show in this business. And you guys can check me out at For My ATL Sports 1 on YouTube. Scott, I got to ask you, you know what I'm going to ask you, and I know what you're going to say, but where are we on the article, Scott?
Like I said, haven't even opened up the screen in months.
Man, we got to give you back your love of writing. We got to find a way to get that back for you, buddy. We got to find a way, man. We got to find a way.
Maybe the Falcons win a couple games in a row and I start writing.
Maybe they do. I don't know. When's the next time you're doing a show with your buddies, man?
I don't know. Still working that out. Probably sometime next month. It's one of those, like, I've got to actually watch some college film to catch up.
I got you.
Because these Saturdays lately have been taken up by me and my wife doing a craft booth.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. When's her next showing?
Saturday morning. Chomp and Stomp. It's going to be in Cabbagetown. It's like a chili cook-off thing.
Where's Cabbagetown?
I don't know.
All right. Well, if you guys know where Cabbagetown is, go check out Scott and his wife. Plug your wife's business, man. Go ahead. What's
so her business is called Lulu Likes Things.
Okay.
And you can find it on Twitter, not Twitter, on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
I'm trying to find them. So she's going to be in the artist market, and she's going to be on Kirkland Street, and it is or Kirkwood Street. Okay. And it's Monday Night Brewing is sponsoring, Atlanta 404 Loggers sponsoring, Bullet sponsoring. So I mean, should be pretty fun.
Good deal. Well, hey man, we will see you guys. Believe One Time for the Fan has a show in the morning. Terry and Carrie will air sometime tomorrow. Scott, I will see you Sunday. Hey, Falcon fans, have a good night. We'll see you guys.
ATL. Through the highs and the heartbreaks, we still stand. Dirty birds forever. Let's get it. Year after year, we've been riding through the storm. Red and black in my veins, that loyalty was swung. We don't fold, we don't run, even when the pain hits. Cause every loss just reminds us what greatness is. We show up cold nights or the Georgia sun. Cause every Sunday we believe that our time gon' come. We ain't perfect, but we faithful and we never switch. We the city of the A, yeah, we built for this. We don't need pretty words, heart on the field we deserve. Put the work in, earn that glory. Bring our city back to the story. We'll ride till the wheels fall off. We ain't never gonna break. Win or lose, we stand tall. 48, you can doubt us, talk loud, but we still hold steady. Cause we here and we faithful and we always ready. It's the dirty, prove the dirty. If you bout it, then prove the dirty. We'll believe when you fight for the city.